knew that you were supposed to be selling some more drugs. But anyway, okay, let's get into song number 3. Song number 3 is Billy by Skits Craven. Okay, so and following into the theme of storytelling, is there anything that I need to know about the song before I start reading the lyrics to it?
It's basically like a story, following a kid who's been bullied. I'm gonna leave it at that. We'll let the lyrics speak for itself.
All right, so
I tell viewers to, one, don't enact this because it's just wrong, but it's just how people cope with being bullied.
Is this kind of like a pumped up kids type song where it sounds like it's pretty positive, but when you read the lyrics and listen to what the singer is saying, it's kind of fucked up? And
no, it's literally all of it's fucked up.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where instead of actually reenacting this, you need to think of it as of a release, like a diary. Like, what would you do? Like, if it was me and I was being bullied, then, I want to cut a head off and, like, it's one of those crazy things.
Okay, let's get into it. So I got the first verse here. School has always been a bitch, ain't it? Dreading every day you walk in, you hate it. I know you want to pack and run away, but you ain't got no fucking money, so you stay. Year's almost over. All you do is count the days. The classroom's getting harder, but the bully shit is worse. You're scared to ask for help, or you might end up in a hearse. They're calling you a faggot, asking where's your. They're calling you a faggot, asking where's your fucking purse.
So, we can all relate, or at least people who have been bullied before can relate to, man, I hate school. I hate everything about it.
And I want to go on record for argument's sake, because I was bullied throughout grade school. It wasn't like, for me, I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for other people who've been bullied because I don't know. But for me, it was never that cliche, throw you up against the locker, knock your books out of your hand. I did have a girl stick gum in my hair one time, and I thought that was really fucked up. It was just very discreet. It wasn't like I'm gonna put you on blast in front of the whole school type thing. It was like very incognito. Right. And it wasn't like a big wad. It was like an itty bitty stick, and then I just cut the. It wasn't that bad, but I did have someone stick gum in my hair one time. But it was never a cliche. It was never how it was presented in movies,
television shows.
I feel like that's very extreme, which, again, I haven't been in grade school, and I'm 24 going on 25 years old. I graduated high school 2013. I have not seen inside of a school building in at least 5 years. Like, it's been a minute. So, right. I can't speak on bullying now, and as far as how bad, because I know kids nowadays are much more ruthless. They know a lot more words and a lot more insults and a lot more slurs, and they will be quick to hurt somebody's feelings over absolutely nothing. But for me,
it's mostly because they feel bad about themselves, and I like to use that as a segue to that. The simple fact that most of the time, you got to think about the older generation prior to us. They had the physical bullying because it was more. They didn't have the online. They didn't have the connections, the telephones and stuff like that we had. Because most time, either your mom or dad had cell phones. You never did. So you really had to.
You had a landline, and you can't be getting, calls at 3 a.m. because it's gonna be a problem if your mama gotta keep waking up to answer the damn phone type shit. So.
Right. Yeah. So anything that really had to do with bullying back then was more physical, not words. You might have got a lot of verbal abuse while it was enacting, but nowadays you get on, and there's a whole segment of cyberbullying now. And I
feel like cyberbullying is very, very bad because not only will you be bullied by, your peers at school, but the internet itself will single-handedly 100%. Tear you apart. So you can be getting harassed and threatened by like grown men in other states and other parts of the world. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be getting sexually like looked at by pedophiles and not even real. You know what I'm saying? So the internet is so much more dangerous for bullying versus when you go to school. You know what to expect from, you know, Big John in the corner. You know, oh, he's gonna come over here and try to take my lunch.
Or he's gonna spit a loogie at me.
Yeah, you're expecting you. And the internet, for most young people, is supposed to be a safe place where you can express how you feel and say what you think and, you know, find out something new that you probably didn't know. But at the same time, even though all of that is true, at the same time, there are millions of people on the internet who do not care about how you feel or what you think about something, and they will eat you alive on the internet.
Right.
The internet is a ruthless place.
It could be the smallest thing that you got people who made a career off of talking about people. Like they might just take that and, you know, try to boost their own career and how they plan on guiding their path or whatever. But, you know, bullying altogether is a thing that hurts your mental state, your physical body. And I don't advocate bullying, even though I do see a lot of positives that do come out of bullying for those people who have been bullied. Because most, like Steve, you got people like Bill Gates who was bullied. He's a billionaire. You got other millionaires and positive outlooks, people who actually do motivational speeches and stuff like that, who have been bullied in the past. And, you know, they talk about their experiences. And if you are being bullied, you know, there are people out there who you can relate to, and they have conversations with who understand where you are. And there's no point in your life that you should take your own actions as far as like trying to, you know, hurt yourself in that regard, because you feel like there's nobody who can relate to you. You have a ton of people you can go to on the internet.
Yeah, and I don't want to stray too much off topic from the song, but just in regards to bullying, the only reason why it's such a big deal now is because last year there were so many, not last year, the year before last, there were so many, you know, suicides, young people, like under the age of 13. Like the youngest one I think was maybe 7 years old, like killing themselves. Mm-hmm. Which, you're 7 years old and you're so being harassed and tormented every single day, and you don't have a choice. You can't not go to school. You know what I'm saying? You have
under Bush's
to go
law,
to
you
school.
have under law of the state, it says it requires all students to go to school, or all children.
You're being tormented so badly every single day, and you can't escape that. The only thing that you can think to make this go away is, oh, I'll just kill myself. Like, that's horrifying.
That's not a positive way to look at things.
That is the most terrifying thing on the planet, to think that a 7-year-old is so tormented that the only solution is, I have to kill myself. That's the only way this is going to stop. And that's terrifying, because your parents, what are your parents? And I used to see videos of parents exposing their children as bullies, and people would talk shit about the parents. Don't talk shit about the parents, because
parents
they probably just saved somebody else's kid from committing suicide. You don't think about that though, do you? You don't think about it until it's your kid, you know, slitting their wrist or taking a whole bunch of pills or just whatever to make their pain stop. Like, they're in pain. Like, so you're getting mad at these. Passing one video of a dad, he was recording his daughter, and he was like, you was talking bad about so-and-so on the bus, and you was calling her all these names. You was dealing with the same little girls who was bullying you a couple of months ago. Now you friends with them, and y'all bullying somebody else. And this little girl was so sad, and she was finna kill herself, and it would have been your fault. Like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that extreme, but he had to make it that extreme, so for her to get the realization, you're tormenting this girl.
You became the problem, not the solution to the situation.
And then there was another parent whose He videotaped. He was driving behind his daughter. She was walking to school. And she was like, she kept getting kicked off the bus because she was bullying some other little girls. And, you know, I had to take her to school every day. But for her to learn her lesson, she's going to walk to school. I'm a follower, so nobody mess with her, but she's going to walk. And she's going to learn that she can't be a bully and she ain't going to bully nobody no more. So if she want to ride that bus or if she want to ride for me, she got to do better. And people got on both of those parents for that. They're both dads, too. So they got on both of the dads for it. And it's like, why?
Right, when they're trying to solve a problem in their household the right way.
Exactly, without being physically abusive to their children. Because you could just got your ass beat, and I would have sent you off to school, and that would have been it. But no, and I need you to learn your lesson. You are not going to be this person. You're not going to be the reason why a student in your class took their own life because you decided that you wanted to be a little asshole. So
Right, because you feel some kind of way about something that, like you're not getting enough attention. You come talk to me about that, not sit there and try to take your pains out on somebody else. It's unfair.
I know kids who have like anger issues. They're really, really good at talking about why they're upset. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even use that as an excuse. Oh, well, he just got a temper. Nah, he got a temper because somebody is messing with him. Or, you know, something is going on with him personally that he needs to get it out somehow. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, and
the kids that I know who have like anger issues, they're really good at saying, I'm upset because XYZ. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's actually a great segue to actually knowing who Skids Craven is. He's actually a middle class kid who never had any issues in life outside of once he got in his sophomore year in high school. He became very angry, not with his parents or anything, just in general, just angry, you know. But it's because after a while he started getting very depressed. But it really stems off the fact that he had like intermittent explosive disorder, which is you know, basically he gets mad really quick. It's literally like just out of nowhere. It's like it's not even in him to be always
he
mad.
Gotta do nothing. He just gonna get mad. Like he can't.
Right. So you know, like something somebody say can just trigger him and make him angry. Like they can say, "Well, I don't like my shoes right now." Well, at least you got shoes.
It's not funny, but I can feel that.
It's an actual disorder.
Yeah, it's
and you know, with that being said, that also gave him the diagnosis of being depressed, having depression, because he felt bad about the actions he caused. Like he can be mad.
And you know what? I think that says a lot about him as an individual, because if you can still find sympathy, if you go on a rampage and like break a whole bunch of stuff and maybe scare a couple of people, and then you can take the time to like calm down, get your mind right, and then look back and be like, damn, I really fucked up. That makes you a good person to me, because you know that you fucked up.
Right.
Psychopaths, they see that mess and it's like, whatever, you know, they don't care. But if you can look at a mess that you made and be like, man, I really fucked that up, that makes you still a good person, because you know that it's a problem and you're either going to try to prevent it from happening again or try to fix it.
Right.
So the fact that you can identify that is good, you know, for future reference. If anybody ever has that problem, if you can look at a problem that you caused or a mess that you made and think, how can I make this better? Then I don't think you should have anything to worry about as far as what people may be saying about you. Because I know a lot of people who have, you know, anger issues or tempers, and people just look at them like they're bad people. Like, everyone who has maybe a little bit of an anger issue is not a bad person. You're only a bad person if you can look at what you've done and just don't care.
Right.
Or if you enjoy doing that, that makes you an evil person. But like, you're a bad person if you don't care, but you're evil if you like it. Like you
find enjoyment out of it, it gets you off.
Right. You do it on purpose at that point.
Right. So yeah, I find that, and then he also was diagnosed for bipolar disorder, so it also helps the simple fact that his mind was all over the place. And the reason why he made the music he did, because after he left high school, you know, he was always in clinics and stuff, and they telling him, "Oh, it's gonna be okay," blah blah blah. You know, you don't want, when you're mad, you don't want to hear people say, "Why you mad?" Okay, or something like that, or everything's gonna be okay.
That's the last thing you want to hear.
Right. So, you know, it took him from high school, here being in psychologist's offices all the time, to him starting to, you know, do heroin, and then crack and cocaine and other drugs.
That was ready to party.
Right.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm looking at some more of these lyrics, and you're absolutely right. It does get crazier.
It gets even worse. The
He says, every day is worse and no one tries to diffuse it. You're on your own. So what I would do, do what I would do, which don't do what I would do. So do what I would do and kill them all. Go catch them at the mall and shoot until you see them fall. Go have a ball, or better yet, be more discreet about your kill. Take everyone they love until they overdose. Oh my God. Until they overdose. Okay, I'm going to break that down. So every day is getting worse and no one tries to diffuse it. The biggest problem, and this is from my brother, my oldest brother, who has 2 children. Both of them are in grade school. And his oldest son is 8. Which he doesn't get bullied, but, you know, just in case, you know, precautionary. The biggest problem is when a student is being bullied and then they go to try to tell the teacher or the guidance counselor, and that either makes the situation worse or it doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because some teachers, really don't care. They do not care about the students.
Or they handle the situation in the worst ways by
they make it worse. They make it worse.
They bring the bully and they bring the child. They tell them to hug or something.
Yeah, they just make it so much worse. So, and this is coming from him as a parent. So you can't, and again, when I was getting bullied, I didn't tell the teachers shit. I told my parents when I got home, where I was safe in my comfort zone, in my bubble. I don't want to deal with so-and-so in class because he keeps doing this to me. And I was always getting bullied by boys, which really grinded their gears. Like, they hated the fact that I was always getting bullied by boys. And it was an everyday thing. So, of course, my mother, being the woman that she is, went up to that school and made sure, keep so-and-so away from my child, because if she come home and tell me one more time that he is bothering her, she wasn't having it. So it always got resolved in the best way. And then, you know, it wasn't anything, you know, it wasn't out in the open for the entire class to know. It's just the teacher would keep an eye on me and they keep an eye on so-and-so. They try to keep us apart. We ain't working together. We ain't in the same vicinity. And when we go out to play on the playground, you know, you keep your distance. I'm with my friends, you with yours, everything's copacetic. But telling the teachers usually doesn't help. It usually makes it worse. So
yeah,
he says
most likely they end up handling the situation wrong.
Right. Or if you like my principal, who is a badass, shout out to Michael Steele at Stratford High School. This nigga didn't play for that shit. He was quick to kick a nigga out of school. He was quick to kick a nigga out. I told you one time, and you still doing it. Get the fuck out. I ain't with that. And so we
don't get a 3-strike rule around here.
Right. It's one time. You get one chance and you blew it. So get out. And I appreciate that. I really, really do. So, you know, everybody, every day is the worst. No one tries to diffuse it. No one is helping the situation. So again, you're trapped in a corner. You can't not go to school, but every time you go, you feel like you're cornered. So in this sense, instead of your only solution being, oh, I'll just kill myself and that'll end it all, you're gonna kill everybody else because fuck them. I'm not the problem. They are.
They are, right.
So kill them all. Go catch them at the mall. Shoot until you see them fall. Go have a ball. So you're basically, and this is that evil, you're getting off, you're enjoying seeing the mess that you created and the problems that you're causing. That's good to you. That feels
because you feel like you are the solution by ending their life.
Right. And if you can't do that, if you're not brave enough to do that, it says, or better yet, be more discreet about your kill. Take everyone they love until they overdose on pills. So if you don't
kill the individual that's bothering you,
kill their family.
Target their families, their friends, everybody around them until they feel like they don't have anybody else. And
Criminal Minds episode.
that sounds like a Criminal Minds thing to me.
I'm pretty sure they did. I'm thinking it was, I can't tell you what season, I can't tell you what episode, but there was an episode of Criminal Minds where there was an anti-bullying group at a school. One of them in the group said enough is enough and decided to go. And he didn't kill the bullies, but he killed the bullies' like families while they were at home. So he would break into their houses, kill the parents and whoever siblings, and leave the bullies like, you know,
without anybody to go to, all the people that they cared about and loved that were taken away from them. So they felt that, like, to them at this point, this is the worst for me.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm taking. I'm seeing the similar characteristics.
And you know what's funny? And this is a little off topic, but I just have to bring it up because we're talking about bullies, and I can recall, you know, the bullies from my grade school time, and it always ends the same way with these people. They don't really ever amount to anything.
Right.
And I'm not gonna.
And we can actually attest to that. If anybody in the viewership have ever watched Toy Story and Sid, if you watch Toy Story 4, you realize three. You realize what he becomes is a garbage truck man.
Right. Which, when you think about Sid from Toy Story, I'm pretty damn positive that he had to go through years of therapy because he's the only person in the Toy Story universe that has ever witnessed firsthand that these toys are not toys and they can come to life and move around and do things on their own. So he probably had to go through years of therapy.
Right.
And maybe even mental institutions to get back under the mindset that these are, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
Right.
But yeah, bullies usually don't ever amount to anything. I think, and again, my bullies were never like pushing me to the point. They weren't never pushing me over a cliff. They just, you know, they picked with everybody who wasn't in their little circle, and they chose people who, like me, were timid, quiet, smart enough to pass, but not smart enough to like know how the world works type thing. So naive, but book smart. You know what I mean? They picked those people because those are the ones who didn't talk back. They didn't fight back. They didn't retaliate. So it was just easy targets, basically. And again, this isn't to say that I'm living luxury. You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling just like everybody else in the world is, but I'm not on the floor of the poverty line struggling. I'm not, you know, 5 kids, no significant other, and living in a 2-bedroom apartment struggling. I'm not, you know, I'm not buying lace front wigs and having my children wearing, you know, holes with shoes in them struggling. I'm not that bad, you know what I mean? So honestly, at the end of the day, it all kind of works out in your favor if you keep yourself grounded. And then as you get older, of course, you mature and you learn more about yourself and the world, and you know, things work out in your benefit, whichever way you decide to go. But usually, bullies don't really go anywhere because they're so stuck in that mentality of I was the shit in middle school and I was even cooler in high school, and that's all that they got is I was cool in high school.
They peaked too soon.
That's it. That's it. They peaked way too soon, and then they just ran out, and then that became it for them. So you see those memes or those caricatures, those animations of, you see the nerdy guy trying to struggle to get the cool girl in school, and she's chasing after this bum ass nigga. The bum ass nigga done knocked her up 3 kids, and now the nerd who she was ignoring is successful, rich, powerful, and she's going back to him, and he's like, stiff on, like, That's real life. That's reality.
I try with you, but you played me for this guy who peaked too soon.
Exactly. and now both of y'all, it's stupid. Good Lord, this whole song is really, really okay. So I got another. Go ahead. I got another line here though, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I was gonna do a brief intermission to run to the restroom.
Okay, I'll put you.
So.
All right. So I got this line right here. He said, start following their girlfriends home from school, plan out every move and think of ways to catch them all. Remember all their names they called you. Walk down the hall. Remember when they made you, oh my God. Remember when they made you lick the water from the stall?
Mm-hmm.
Now fire up, go grab the rope. Oh God. Then tie her up, burn that bitch alive, pour gasoline, then light her up, kaboom. Wait a couple of days until the news spreads. Your bully's crushed, he was in love, and now she's dead. That is some really fucked up shit. I mean, it don't get me wrong, I've listened to graphic lyrics like this before. This was my high school playlist right here. But as an adult, I'm so serious. I'm so serious. But as an adult, again, as I was saying, as you grow, you mature, and your mind expands, and you become more conscious of who you are as an individual. And not that I can't say that I don't understand where he's coming from. I just think that it's like watching a scary movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's fucked up. Like, you're not gonna lie and say you don't enjoy it because you enjoy scary movies, but it's just like, damn, that's fucked up. So I get it, but I just wouldn't like participate, because I'm not gonna say that I don't have thoughts about which I've never had these thoughts as a child, but just doing away with people who do me dirty. Of course you think about stuff like that.
And you can attest to that by, you're like, man, I wish my damn boss just fell off a cliff. Like, just, you say it, but you don't really mean it.
Yeah, and again, that's what separates you from being a good person, a bad person, and an evil person. You can be a good person and still have these thoughts because it would be wrong for you to act on them. You can be a bad person if you accidentally, punch somebody in the face who made you mad, but it felt good to punch them in the face. And you can be an evil person if you decide to plan this shit out and do it. So he's speaking from the mindset of an evil person, because you're actually taking the time to,
think it up.
Valence and
it's one of those things that, it's one of those ones where you think it too much.
Right.
Like, you put too much detail in it to a point where it's not just a hypothetical. It's I'm devising a plan.
Right.
So yeah, I can understand that those all together.
Good Lord. Okay. All right, I got a couple more lines here. Here's Pretty Mommy. She's up next. Skip a couple days of school so you can stalk her out. Remember how you acted and proceeded with the last one. Memorize her routes. And when she is alone, once you got it down, then you'll be ready to approach. It's time to go. Get suited up. Stay on your toes. You know that's his mama. She's at home. She's all alone. Knock up on the door and say you're selling football ticks. She fucking loves that, so she'll invite you.
And
oh God! So she'll invite you in? What? So how stupid? First of all, my mom is not. If you knock on her door and she didn't expect you to come over, she's not gonna answer. She's not gonna open it. And
if I ain't never said nothing about it before, it's one of those things. My mom, she might, bite off the football picks, the tickets or whatever, but she's not gonna be like. She's not gonna invite nobody in. She's gonna be like, my son never said nothing about a football game.
Right.
So I don't know why you coming door to door expecting me to give you money for a football game. She's liable to be like, oh, well, catch me next week or something.
Yeah.
Like, she's not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm a bite. Maybe I'm gonna ask my son later, like, hey,
right.
somebody
Do
stop
you
by.
want to go? We can go and get tickets together. You ain't got to tell me nothing right now.
Right.
So he goes on to say, she'll ask you about your day and what positions that you play. Play along with her, but do not wait or hesitate. Hit her. Good Lord. Hit her right away and bust her in her fucking mouth. She's panicking and screaming ouch. Drag her to the couch, then slowly let her body soak inside the gasoline. Dump the gas all on her and around the fucking house. Light a match until the flame arouse. Now hurry up, the rest of them will be all home soon. So light it up and just book it down the hills. Go straight home and take your ass to sleep. You know the drill. This is terrifying. This right here is terrifying because not only is it giving you like a window view inside of someone's mind who's been tormented and, you know, just ridiculed for their entire life, but it's taking you step by step on how to go about handling this problem. And that is horrifying because it's one thing to just say, oh, when I see that bitch, I'm gonna punch her in the mouth. It's one thing to say it, but he's saying this is how you do it. This is what you say. This is how you do it. This is what you're gonna do when you're done with this, and this is where you're gonna go when you're done with that. Like, it's very strategic.
Like, he has to be a mastermind.
Yeah.
Like he's you know, brainiac, and he's got 1,000,001 moves playing. Like, it's like a chess game with somebody, instead of just knowing 5 moves, he knows 20 or 100 moves ahead. So as soon as you make that first step, I already won. I already know what you're gonna do. Even if you did this, I'm doing this. Like, I already got it. So yeah.
All right, so I guess this is the end of the. Yeah, so this is the end of the song. Surprised about the news you heard today. Your bully's not at school. So now you know that he is done. I think you won. See, mental torture is the best, Billy. You never hurt him, but you hurt the ones he loved. You're fucking tough, man. So you never let the fuckers try and punk you. They hate their lives. So you did what was fair. I'm proud about the way you're handling things. You listened well. Now just remember what I taught you. I think I've done my job, so I'm gonna let you go. Best of luck. Now go be the best that you can be. That is absolutely terrifying. It looks like this song is on the album Hollow.
Yeah.
Which has a bunch of other really creepy songs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the whole God. And the crazy thing is, this song has the only like normal name on the album. It's Already Dead, Fear, Propaganda, Voices. It was Skits, Maniac, Insanity, Halloween Chick, Play in the Dark, Hide and Seek Forever, Die Slow, and Haunted House. This song is the only song that has like a normal name. So you think it'd be a normal song, but no, this entire album is probably filled with
oh yeah, it's filled with a ton of craziness, different scenarios. You know, at one point, like I said, he ends up telling somebody, you know, I cut a chick's toes off and put it in a blender. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, I've heard Earl Sweatshirt say worse, but oh my goodness gracious.
You know, he talks about hanging people from their testicles and all kinds of stuff, you know.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, so it gets really dark.
So as far as categorizing this for people who may be watching and comparisons, I would compare this guy to like the Saw movies, where it's a lot of gore and makes you really uncomfortable. You get this sick, twisted, gut-wrenching feeling in your stomach, and you almost want to throw up. But it's tolerable enough that you can still watch it and be like, oh my God, that's gross. You know what I'm saying? So I would compare this song
I can play off of that. I can definitely play off of that being Saw, because if you ever watch Saw, if you think about it, all the things that happen has something to do with the bad that somebody's done, or what they thought was just.
They're there for a reason.
Right. And it's his solution on solving a problem. and this is basically the exact same thing. Like, this is his dark, deep, like, thing where he's like trying to solve a problem with a bigger problem.
Right.
You know,
and there's always a twist. There's always a twist in. So maybe not in this song in particular, but perhaps one of the other ones from that album, Hollow. It's a really fucked up, like, damn, you know what I mean? So, especially in song 1, there's a humongous, just like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like this guy is very much an oh my God type of guy, you know what I mean? I can't believe that type of thing, because just reading the lyrics to that song is very much, it's structured like a movie, for sure. So there's definitely a story being told, you know, and in addition to being like a step-by-step, this is how we're gonna kill this guy's family. But you know, it's definitely a story being told. So you can also envision it as as I was reading it, I could envision it. And that, I think, makes it a little bit scarier. So is there anything else that you want to say before we move on to the final song?
Actually, I don't. I really do just I find that appreciation of this horror version of this song due to the fact that, like, you know, you can tell where it takes some elements from, like, Eminem, who, you know, he talked about the like the skeletons in the closet and the things that he would do to people if he could.
Eminem, I respect this guy, first and foremost. I don't want nobody to look at me sideways and go, oh, what you gonna do with Eminem? But he's very much like, okay, so if Skits Craven, is it Craven or Craven?
It's Craven.
So if Skits Craven is like a Saw movie, I would say Eminem is like a Friday the 13th, Freddy versus Jason type of movie, where there's still a little bit of comedy in there. There's a little bit of a comic relief, but just as you're getting back to being comfortable and relaxing, and he cuts your head off. You know what I'm saying? So
right. And that,
so
and
if
that's
we're doing
perfect.
it like that, that's what Eminem is. So if Skits Craven is Saw, then Eminem is like Freddy versus Jason. So it's still gore, it's still creepy, it's still scary, it's still suspenseful. There's just enough comedy in there to make you let your guard back down, and once you're back comfortable, you get your dick chopped off, or you get your throat slashed, or something happens that's like, holy shit. So that's the best way that I can put it.
Hey, and that, to me, that sounded perfect. But as we move to this last one, which is it'll leave you in shock and awe just as much.
I mean, you told me that it was a gradual escalation from, like, they're all storytelling songs, but it goes from like 0 to 100. Like,
yeah, you know, each song, all of them had some way to make you feel. This one, to me, was the most impactful out of all those. Even though Skits, hearing all of it was like, dang, that's fucked up. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, it is. But
I
can understand why he felt the way that he felt.
Because he felt like it was justified. Man, this man been bullying me my whole high school or whatever,